There was something theatrical about the way he walked into the office. Expensive shoes, too shiny, shirt unbuttoned, just one notch too far. The kind of confidence that doesn't come from talent, but from never having to prove yourself. He didn't smile. He smirked. Lucas Harrington, fresh MBA graduate, heir to the Harrington Group, and at 29, the new vice president of global operations, my new boss. Technically, he strolled in Monday morning with a cappuccino in hand and the swagger of someone who had already decided everything needed changing: branding, org charts, leadership. Especially leadership. He didn't introduce himself to the team, just walked straight into the executive conference room like he'd been rehearsing that entrance his whole life. I watched from my office, not big, but mine. Earned, not inherited, ID. Been with the company 12 years. 5 of those years spent building out our partnerships in Asia, especially with Jinlong Industries, our most profitable and culturally sensitive client. I spoke fluent Mandarin, navigated business etiquette across continents. But to Lucas, I was just middle management. A name, a cost center, replaceable. He never asked to meet me, but I heard him through the wall. We need fresh minds. The old guard is holding us back, old guard, that's what he called us. The ones who remembered the company before the buzzwords, before the restructuring, before the digital veneers. I made no comment. You learn not to flinch at arrogance when you've been around long enough. By Tuesday, the rumors had grown. Teeth. Lucas was reviewing departments. Optimizing, which of course meant cuts. My assistant came in pale. He just let Marcus from logistics go. No warning. Marcus had been here nearly 20 years. By Wednesday, desks were empty, eyes glued to screens. Everyone waited for that subjectless Outlook invite like it was a verdict. At 3:47 p.m., I got one. Subject: Internal Realignment Discussion. Attendees: Lucas Harrington. HRI didn't panic. I didn't even blink. At exactly 4 p.m., I walked into the conference room. Lucas leaned back like a late-night talk show guest, HR next to him. "Olivia," he said, not looking up. "Thanks for coming in. This will be brief." I sat. "We've been reviewing our operational structure," he began, tapping the desk. "We need people who think on their feet. Innovators, not just process managers. You've done solid work, but your role no longer aligns with where we're headed." HR couldn't meet my eyes. I had trained her 3 years ago. Then came the smirk. "We need people smarter than you." I didn't flinch. "Good luck on Friday," I said. He blinked. "What's Friday?" "Your quarterly call with Jinlong." Mr. Chen doesn't speak English. His interpreter is on leave. Your new structure doesn't include anyone who speaks Mandarin. His face flickered. Then, dismissive. "We'll manage. This is a modern company. We'll find a solution." I nodded, stood, and left the envelope he slid across the table untouched. I packed my things in silence, gave a quiet wave to Linda in accounting, my lunch partner for a decade. She mouthed, "I'm so sorry." I didn't send a farewell email, didn't make a speech. Some storms don't start with thunder. They begin in silence and end in consequences. Friday morning. I wasn't in the office. I was in my apartment, coffee in hand, watching the storm roll in from a window seat. Emails trickled in, whispers, speculation. He's presenting to Jinlong. No interpreter. Didn't Olivia handle that account? Yes. For 8 years. I was the reason the account survived reorganizations, lawsuits, and a pandemic. Mr. Chen didn't trust easily. That relationship took years of quiet effort. Green tea preferences, call timings, personal gifts. As he once told me, "We don't just do business with people we pay. We do business with people we respect." Lucas never learned that. He thought cleverness equaled wisdom. At 10 a.m. sharp, the Jinlong call began. Lucas wore his best navy suit. A slideshow, queued up behind him, filled with buzzwords: global synergy, forward momentum, operational alignment. He didn't even pronounce Jinlong correctly. Mr. Chen's aide opened the call. "Where is Miss Olivia Lane?" "Miss Lane is no longer with us," Lucas said brightly. "I'll be your new contact." Silence. Then Mr. Chen spoke in Mandarin. Lucas looked around. "Did anyone catch that?" the intern guessed. He, asked why Olivia isn't here?" Lucas forced a smile. "Please assure him we're modernizing our approach." Another sentence from Mr. Chen, this time sharper. Not angry, just final. By minute 15, no progress had been made. At minute 18, Mr. Chen stood up. He looked into the camera, spoke one final sentence, and logged off. No farewell, no diplomacy, just a screen gone black. By 10:45, the conference room was empty. Lucas sat alone, staring at his reflection in the glass. By 11:16, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I didn't answer. Then, the text came. "Hey, Olivia, can we talk? Something weird happened with Jinlong." Weird. The weekend brought no peace. By Saturday, rumors became questions. By Sunday, questions became blame. A 12 Mappers annual account, gone, without warning, without backup. Other clients noticed. They started pulling back. What happened to Olivia? Why? Weren't we informed? Lucas tried to control the narrative. It was a technical issue. She left suddenly. But you can't gaslight people who already feel disrespected. By Monday morning, Ridgemont was cracking. I had 3 missed calls from HR, then one from the CEO's assistant. That's when I knew. They weren't calling for help. They were calling for rescue. Lucas tried again. "Olivia," he said too brightly. "We got off on the wrong foot. Maybe we bring you back. Just short term. Consulting, maybe." I let silence fill the line. Then said, "Why would I come back? You know how these things go. Tempers flare. I think we both want what's best. You fired me because you thought the job was just translation and email threads. What I built? It's not on paper. It's in trust, in relationships." Pause. "Look, just one meeting. Help me fix this." I said nothing, just silence, the kind that makes people sweat. Later that day, I received an email, a provisional consultancy agreement. No title, no credit, just access. I accepted, not for the role, not even for revenge. For the stage. Tuesday morning. I returned to Ridgemont. No name on the wall anymore, but my reputation walked in ahead of me. Lucas met me in the lobby, smiling like nothing had happened. "Glad you're here. We'll set you up in a conference room. Temporarily, of course. Not an office. A glass box on display. Perfect." By noon, I was logged back in. Jinlong's file was untouched. No response from Mr. Chen. 2 other Asian clients had gone quiet. Lucas stopped by. "Think you'll be able to restore the connection?" I looked at him, unreadable. "That depends." "On what?" "Whether they're willing to speak to you." Again, because this time they're not expecting a slide deck, they're expecting an apology. He chuckled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Let's just get things back on track." But I knew the truth. There was no track to go back to. This wasn't a recovery. This was a realignment. Only this time I was the one deciding what stayed and what got left behind. That evening I sat at my new desk, the city skyline glittering outside the glass like a crown I never asked for, but earned. No plaque on the wall, no awards. No grand announcement, just peace, and a name that now opened doors because it carried something Lucas never understood. Weight, not from volume, but from value. Because I had proven what men like him always overlook. You don't need power to be powerful. You need purpose. And when the storm finally passes, the ones still standing aren't the loudest. They're the ones who kept building, quietly, steadily, long after the noise faded. They fired me to make space for someone smarter. But Friday proved what I always knew. You can't replace what you don't understand. And now they understand. Too late.